Hi, I'm Real Estate, and today I'm going to show you how to turn this into this with PhotoDirector 365. I make all of my thumbnails and artwork on PhotoDirector 365, and if you don't have it yet, click this link up here in the right-hand corner to get your own copy today so you can follow along. Now let's get started. We're going to go ahead and click the Edit button right here and open up a new window. Alright, go ahead and drag the image you want to edit into the window. For me, it'll be Minimancer. This is my favorite gold augment. And the reason I'm starting with gold is because it is the quickest and easiest one to edit and get the nice colors on. For silver and prismatic, we need to spend more time fine-tuning the colors. And in order to get these specific images, I simply screenshot them from my videos. Now, our first step is going to be removing everything from the frame here. So go ahead and select your object removal tool right here. I'm going to max out our brush size and select everything in the frame. We're going to grab this icon and the text. And then we're going to gut this puppy like a pumpkin. Click your apply button right here. And the AI does all the work for you. We've got a nice empty golden frame here. I'd like to say it's gold, but it's more of a tarnish gold, maybe more of a copper or bronze color, but we're going to fix those colors a little bit later. Right now, we're going to go on to step 2, which is fixing the shape. I'm going to turn this bad boy into a square. And the reason I'm doing that is because these rectangles tend to take up a lot of space on the thumbnail with a lot of extra blank space inside of them, and I just don't think it looks very good. I think the squares are a lot sharper. They have more options. You can stack them up, or you can blow them up really big, and then you have like the huge like augment image that provides all the information in a smaller package in a bigger image. It's amazing how well it performs. But I digress. Go over to Expert here, and we're going to shrink this down about halfway until that little green line appears. There it is. We're done. Good job. That's a joke. I'm joking. This looks like trash. Please don't ever do this. The only reason I showed you this method is so that you can avoid it at all costs. So we're going to go ahead and head back over to Guided so I can show you a much better method. All right, head over to your Crop, Rotate, and Flip tool. We're going to be looking at this little square guy right here. And then we're going to unlock it or hit your custom as well. We went ahead and did the square so that we could grab our height right here because we're going to cut that in half. So my height is 322. I'm going to switch it to 161. I already did the math in advance. I'm not good at math, so don't think that I am. Your numbers may look different, so you need to do your own math. Get the half of whatever your height is. Hit enter. And we're going to move this all the way up to the top here. Hit your back arrow. And we've got the top of our frame. Go ahead and hit the export button so that you can save the top of your frame. I am going to save mine as top. Undo and grab your entire frame again. And we're going to do the same thing and grab the bottom. So we're going to unlock this. Put in your height. Basically going to be the same thing. Hit enter. Move this all the way down to the bottom. Hit your back arrow, and we've got the bottom of the frame. Export your bottom. Hit undo. And we're going to do this one more time. But this time we're going to hit the square and then hit the back arrow because this grabs the middle. We want the middle here now. Go ahead and export that just in case. We don't want anything to crash and lose our progress. So now we've got bot, top, and mid. Those sound like familiar terms to my audience, I'm sure. We're going to head over to Expert. You can get rid of this. You can leave it. Personally, I delete them every time. Don't need them. It's just an extra layer. We've got our square here, right? So now we want to go over and grab our top and bottom layers. Move these in. Line this one up on the top. Line this one up on the bottom, obviously. All right, we're done. That looks amazing, right? Ta-da! I'm just kidding. We're not done yet. This is your zoom tool. You can zoom in and out with it and then move it around with the little hand. Take your middle Move it all the way up here so it's in front of everything. And now we're going to go ahead and squish this layer halfway down. There we go. Move it to the middle. All right, and now we've got our gold frame. You will notice though that there is a little bit of blurriness here from squishing it down, but we're gonna fade that out here with the color correction. This is generally what your frame is going to look like. We are going to take these corners out a little bit later, but let's go ahead and head over to color correction right now. Head back over to guided over here, and we're going to go to adjustments. It's under color adjustments. And you're going to see a lot of settings here. It's a little overwhelming, but fortunately for you, I already did all of the settings and adjustment experiments for you for this particular video, so we can go ahead and just move contrast all the way over. Brightest, bright, midtone's going to go all the way to the left. Move dark over to the right, darkest all the way to the right. We want clarity. Vibrance all the way up. And then saturation, we're not really going to mess with this one. And you can play with these settings all you want on your own. If you disagree with how mine looks, you think you can make yours look better, by all means. I'm going to dehaze this a little bit. So as you can see, it's fixing that corner down here, but we're a little dark now, so let's raise our exposure up just a touch. Add some glow, and this will move some of that brightness down into the darkness. We're actually going to go 50% on this one. Come on down here, and you can add sharpness. I think it's going to add a little too much noise, so I'm not going to add too much to it. I'm not going to add any to it at all, actually. We're going to go no sharpness on that one. Head back over here, and we can do a denoise. And it added a little noise to the center, but it fixed our frame around the outside edges here. And we can do an object removal with this here in the center. Get rid of that. There you go. You could call it quits here, but here's another little trick for you. We're going to go to background remove and replace, and we're going to free up these corners and make them round. So the background remove tool is usually really good, but for these frames, it's not amazing, so we're going to go over here to the fine tune and mask. Hit the plus brush, max out your size. We're going to add everything back in real quick. This tool works automatically, and we gotta add everything back in sometimes. And all right, so we're gonna go to the minus brush right here and adjust your size to whatever you want to take out on the corners here, whatever you need to take out on the corners. You can also use your scroll wheel on your mouse to adjust the size in a fine-tuned fashion. All right, now that we've taken these out, we're gonna go to add back in and check the show original background box, and you can see in these red areas what used to be there. I'm going to zoom back in now, and we're going to increase our brush size. Actually, we got to click this again. We're going to increase our brush size to fit what the shape of these corners looks like. We're just going to kind of add them back in. There we go. Just like that. You can hit apply or you can hit the back arrow, doesn't matter. These corners are out and round now. Wonderful. This one's a little messed up, but you guys get the picture. You guys can do a better one than I can. Your frame's pretty much done. The only way to make this any better for real is to do an image upscaler. And this isn't a good example right here, but you can kind of see that the upscaler adds in pixels, so it's going to increase your resolution by a significant amount. And this is another way that you can actually save your images if you want to go ahead and upscale them, because this has to export as a new image since it is a new size. It can't just do it in app. You can go ahead and hit OK and save, or if you're comfortable with this size, you don't need to increase its resolution. But when you do go to export it, make sure that you export it as a PNG file, otherwise those corners are going to be filled back in. You want a PNG file, just like this. Alright, and your gold frame is complete. Repeat these same steps to get your silver and your prismatic augment frames as well. Just make sure that you do your due diligence with the color adjustments on the prismatic and silver augments. The adjustments are going to be different than they are with the gold to get the outcome that you desire. So play with the settings and figure out what works best for you. For continuity purposes, we're moving back over to our gold frame, and we're going to add the Minion Mancer augment back into it. Add the original Minion Mancer augment into the window again, and we're going to extract this icon by going over here to our crop, rotate, and flip. I'm just going to use the square crop, a little smaller than that. There we go. And then we got a nice little blurry capture of our Minion Mancer icon. We can go ahead and improve that by going to Image Upscaler right here under AI Improvements, and this will make it look a lot sharper. As you can see, it increases the resolution by 4 times. So we'll go ahead and save that to our Square Assets folder. And then we move that image into the window here. Alright, let's go ahead and do a quick background remove. And it took out pretty much everything. There's a little dark spot there, but I'm not too concerned about it. That'll disappear later. We could fine tune it out, but for the sake of saving time, what we want to do is go ahead and head over to Adjustments, turn this bad boy into gold. And we're doing similar settings to what we had on our frame. That looks pretty good to me. Glow or no glow? What do you guys think? I'm thinking glow. It brightens this up a little. Alright, go ahead and export that as a PNG file, not a JPEG file, otherwise you're going to have a white background on it again. PNG file. Save. Add your gold frame back in. Go over to Expert, otherwise it's going to, whatever you throw in here is going to override whatever you have. Throw your icon inside and resize it to whatever you desire. I think that this is a good size, personally. And now sometimes the centering's not always perfect. This one actually looks like it's pretty good. It's right in the middle there. Alright, now we just need text. Let's go back over to Guided over here. And we are going to select text. And there are a plethora of fonts to choose from, many of which you may have to download to be able to use them. I personally like the Acme one. It looks like a parody version of the original augment text. We're going to type in Minion Mancer. Go ahead and stretch this out so it fits. We're going to stretch it extra big because I want to increase the size here. I want to make it bold too, so we're going to bold it, make it bigger until it about fits. That looks good to me. Okay, and I like it overlapping the icon a little bit. I think it looks pretty cool like that. Go ahead and add another text for the description. And typically I will summarize this so that I can have larger text. So mine will just say, big minions. And then sometimes if we go to grab it, we gotta move this out of the way because it'll grab this one instead. Move this down here. And let's make this a little bit bigger. But we never make this one bold. Only the upper one is bold. Got our center line. And there you have it. Now you know how to turn this into this with PhotoDirector 365. Or at least you know that there's a video about it now and where to find it. If you want to use these tools yourself, there is a link right here and also down in the description as well. Let me know in the comments what kind of tutorial you'd like to see next, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Peace. You got me going